Here we go. Oh man. Today we're going to be continuing with Phoenix Wright. We're just waiting a few minutes so people can join, watch any ads if there are any, and then we will continue with our adventure. Tiferet is a freaking interesting fight, by the way. In this month that is running, I will try to get further. I think this will be the first LBA I don't mind grinding at all, to be honest. I just finished a doodle, mainly drawn over a model so I don't claim the design. Ooh! I've seen some of the stuff you've posted in the Discord, Asumaki. You draw pretty well. I still cannot even draw a circle that looks decent. My perception of depth is very bad. That's what I figured out. Because when I have to do an inclination that looks like it's going in or coming out, it just doesn't look right. I just can never get angles right. It is just weird for some reason. But I have not abandoned drawing. I have to admit that I have not been drawing every day because I've been busy, but I'm still trying to keep up with it. But I'm not improving much, if at all, to be completely honest. Do I have the mic on? Yeah, okay. I heard lack of depth perception. Sounds like it sucks. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to real life, but you can try doodle, it doesn't hurt to try. Yeah, like, I mean, I'm still trying to learn, and I'm drawing as often as I can. But it's been a little bit I just been a little bit too busy, and with this I don't know what is it, but I just cannot do stuff the way I want. I try a lot, but it just doesn't come right. I'm not talking about making like these spectacular drawings. Even just a box, if I want to make it like it's, I don't know, looking that the box is inclined, going like inside the paper, it doesn't look right. Or if I want it to look like it's coming out of the paper, it doesn't look right. It is just weird. And it's weird because in real life I have very good depth perception. I'm very good like at measuring with my eyes. I'm pretty good with distances and stuff like that. But when it comes to doing it on paper, I don't know, it just doesn't come well. But with my lack of ability to improve my perception of depth while drawing, on to the side, let's continue with Phoenix Wright. Guys, on the last episode of Phoenix Wright, we were interrogating Mickens. We established that someone else could have entered besides Goodman, and that there could be a duplicate card if you lost your card, because they will issue a new one. We also established that the evidence locker of Goodman was open already, so you didn't need to have his fingerprint to open it. And now Edgeworth was saying something that it's gonna lead us somewhere, hopefully. I wish there was an option to see like the conversation history. By the way, I just remember something that I remember this morning too. I'm trying to train myself to not do audible pauses, so those that kind of stuff I'm trying to get out of my system. So I will be speaking slower today, so so I don't have to make those audible pauses that bother me. I don't know if they bother you, but it bothers me that I do it, so I want to train myself out of it. But let's continue now. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encounter was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Ooh. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? You may have been hit by an ad. If anyone has an ad, let me know. I want to make sure that no one was hit by the ad before we continue. This is a story game, so missing a piece of it would not be great. No? Okay, perfect. Am I correct, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? Worst part is... Good evening, Porwa. How you doing? How you doing? Oh, I didn't do my classic stream start. Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? I hope you had an excellent Saturday. Hello, Alvin. How are you guys doing? I forgot to do my greeting for the stream, so you came just in time. Hello, Mikan. Hello, hello. How you doing? I was just saying I forgot to do my stream greeting, so you came just in time. Nice. Glad to hear that. We just began Phoenix Wright again. Edgeworth just stated the facts that we stated before, so Goodman was not necessarily the man inside. Doing good, gonna shower soon. Nice. But yeah, what I was going to say is that Edgeworth is such a weird character, because on one hand, you can tell he wants to save Lana, but on the other hand, he has to be a bastard. He always has to be this cheeky bastard. Picking vegetables for cooking green curry tomorrow. Ooh. Greetings. Good evening, Miguel. How you doing? How you doing? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also a fake. Hey, random person says, hey Sherlock, what could be your pool priority coming out of the 4th anniversary for Himari, Kamphare, and Waifuka? And would you consider skipping Hikari if you were only able to afford the above banners, since there is only a month of gap from Fuka to the Chupogaki? So, priority, it's very account related. For example, in my case, I already had Himari, so Himari had no impact on my account. Kamphare, I was spooked by her, and I still think that while she's good, she's not that much of a significant upgrade over Kayoko. And don't get me wrong, she's pretty good and more reliable, but I don't feel like she's a must. And Waifuka, I did not have Waifuka, so for me she was top 1 priority. If you don't have any of these characters, I would say get Himari and Fuka, skip Kamphare. The Gaki are limited, so you may want to get them, but overall, for now, Nozomi is only good for Tiferet, while Hikari for now also is only good for Tiferet, but being a support makes her more flexible, so she may see more use in the future. So I would say get Himari, Fuka, and if you can afford one of the Gaki, get Nozomi, which is the support one. Yes. No, Hikari, the support one. Get the support one. Now, by not getting the DPS one, your DPS for Tiferet will be very low. You will probably not be able to get very far there, but you have to consider that in the end, most of your Pyroxene comes from all the other game modes where Hikari has more value than Nozomi does. I'm gonna skip Yuneru if I don't get Himari. Oh man. Yuneru, she is very good, but she's very good in long fights. So I don't know. I would still not recommend skipping her, but at the same time I could understand it. Yu Asuna is not bad. Yu Asuna is pretty good, and I'm pretty sure she will get a lot more use in the near future, to be honest. She has a good healing source on her normal, her buff is pretty strong for specials, and with the introduction of Gregorius Lunatic difficulty, I'm pretty sure Yu Asuna and Idol Sakurako will see a lot more use, because Striker survivability is pretty tight, and I'm pretty sure specials will get a little bit of a more important role again in Gregorius. Hey, don't worry, if you have any other questions, feel free to ask. But in short, Himari, Fuka, if you can afford it, get Hikari. If you cannot afford it, then just get Himari and Fuka because they are universally good. That would be the short version. But keep in mind that not having the Gaki means that your Tiferet runs will be hard and very limited. If you can get one Gaki, get Hikari and rent Nozomi when you do Tiferet. You can do only one team in Tiferet anyways, so if you're only missing Nozomi, you can rent one. Then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. Hello, Murati, how you doing? Yes, you got to the stream. My friend was asking about that and skipping either student. Either student up there, Phil skinned the brick. He's coming out of Engway Fuka empty. So here's the thing, because in Tiferet you can do only one team, getting one Gaki, if you have all the other characters you may need for that, could be a solution. I don't think it's a brick not getting both Gakis. I think that Engway Fuka is not having her is not a brick, but makes your life a lot harder. And I know from experience because my JP account did not have Fuka until her latest rerun last month. So I went like 3 years without Fuka. And I was still managing to get pretty far. But having Fuka makes your life a lot easier. And I would strongly recommend having her. I'm feeling a little bit sick. I'm feeling a bit sick, to be honest. How about you, Sherlock? I'm pretty fine. I've been a little bit busy lately, but I'm fine, thanks God. I usually get sick during this time because of the season changing. Temperature go up and down, and I always get sick, but I'm pretty fine this time around. Hello, Aru. How you doing? Any questions, are you sure? Any questions that are BA related and not personal, Porwa? You know that. I spent 2 years without Himari, that leaves a bigger hole than anyone can fill. That's true, Himari it is very important to have. Kisaki can replace her in many places, but having Himari for Team 2 and for general use is very good. Especially if you're going to be doing Kuroko strats, having Himari is essential. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. Ooh. That's, well, I guess that's right. I often I often create new I often create new to make everyone feel, wait, multi Mulati Young, my new name, Porwa? What? Oh, okay. Porwa giving nicknames. Yeah, sounds kinda cool. Sounds Korean. I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago, you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This is not going to end well. What about Mine? What about mine? Oh, Porwa calls you Mikan-chan. So you have a nickname. Because of Blue Archive, every time I see the word mine, I think of Mine. I'm brain rotted by the game. Well, it seems you finally realize. Ooh. Exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. How do you make your coffee every morning? Much about espresso? I have an espresso machine, yeah. So you put the coffee powder in this thingy, and then you put the thingy on the other thingy, and you press the button, hot water pours, and you get the coffee. Black coffee, I drink it black coffee. I'm an adult. Yeah, that sounds like a very adult thing to say. It's Mikan-chan because you're like our little bro. I think Mikan is the youngest here, maybe tied with Black Lockhart, but everyone is an adult here. Thanks God. My jokes are not family friendly sometimes. I use my Mocha Master coffee maker because I drink a lot of it. I used to drink a lot of coffee, but I'm reducing the amount. I'm 3 years old. Oh man. Be careful with that. I don't know. Guys, be careful when joking about your ages, because I don't want YouTube moderation to put you in trouble and me in trouble, so please do not joke with underage ages. Black coffee sounds like a Hina line. Yeah, true. I can say that I'm the youngest adult here. Yeah, that's true. Man, I fail as an adult. I don't drink coffee. Don't worry, I like my coffee just like my metal. Like my metal with milk. What? Wait, what? Oh, wait, no. Is that... Streaming sites will quickscope you if you mention any age under the guidelines? Yeah, exactly, so be careful with that. Don't joke about age. Yes, I use French press, lowest technology as possible, latte boy. No, I think he's making a joke. There was this puppet show that had a character called Big Ed, if I recall correctly, and he made that kind of analogies, like I like my coffee like I make metal. It's a joke. I drink cheap instant one lately. You know the music, black metal. Oh yeah, but I'm not a fan. I'm more of a prog metal person, but yeah. Exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. Yeah, only espresso plus orange juice for real Italian. So, I used to drink a lot of coffee, but it's complicated. I don't want to scare you guys in vain. Once I have news from the doctor, I will maybe tell you some more about it, but for now I'm reducing the amount of coffee I take. Sherlock likes his coffee, prog like his metal. Yeah. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place. at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. Hello, hello, Martin. How you doing? How you doing? So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's office, the murder being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. Phoenix Wright, you screw up very badly here. Oh no, we played ourselves and made Edgeworth's case for him? Yeah, kinda. Worst part is that Edgeworth actually wants to save Lana. I knew the testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered, and where did this person disappear to? However, a lot of men. How in percentage are we? 50% in? How far are we into it? From 1% to 100%. How much have we done? Hopefully 50%. Instant, mostly Robusta. It's very different. While you sleepy, but it tastes meh. 50% is something like that. Guys, you need to drink 100%. What's the name? Arabica. We call it Arabica. That's the good coffee. Robusta has I don't like the taste of Robusta too much. Yeah, as long as it's cheap, I don't really care. Then I think by the end of this game, Sherlock would have been a decent detective. What do you mean would have been a decent detective? I'm the best detective in the world, man. Come on. This is the second day, so I'd say 40% in terms of knowing what happened. Ooh. This trial purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so your honor, Mr. Wright, you have to do something or else Lana... What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? We have to object, obviously, there is no wait and see what happens. One moment, your honor. What now, Wright? Don't tell me you are objecting to what you've just proven. I just need my caffeine by any means. I can understand that, but once you start drinking the good coffee, you cannot go back. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecutor's trap. Ooh. Things will get crazy on day 3. They are already very crazy, man, so I cannot wait to see how much crazier they will get. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. Yeah, that's true. We can only see Meekins lying on the floor. However, it cannot be said that this is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Wait. I had my good coffee, but end of the month speaks differently. Yeah, I hope Sherlock doesn't run out of brain juice. My brain juice has run out long time ago. My brain is completely fried, but we still push through. You're a great chef, Alvin. You don't destroy my stereotype about chef must be picky about food and drink. Phoenix bluffing, yes. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demand further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? He's not bluffing this time? Ooh, looking at Sherlock, he never disappointed me about Car's Italian joke. Man. That's something I gotta say that's... I have something, I guess. I'm not a picky eater, I eat cheap whenever possible, with a big portion, yes. Cheap and abundant, that's the best way to eat. I kinda low-key hate extremely expensive food. Me too. 1, because I cannot afford it. 2, because it always feels overpriced. That's the best way to live life? Yes. I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Ooh. Mr. Wright, do you mean... Your Honor? The defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh. Whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Well then, Mr. Wright, this person to whom you would have testified. What is his or her name? Jake Marshall, 33 years old, patrolman investigating the incident at the Prosecutors? What? Prosecutors office. That should be prosecutors, right? Think he's a cowboy. I can eat food from roadside stalls and feel fulfilled than spend a huge amount of money on unfulfilling food. Texas Ranger Mickens. Officer Marshall. Why him? I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense requests. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. What I told myself is that food for the mass, good food for everyone who can enjoy. Not just for the select few who can reserve a table in advance with a thick wallet to pay. I agree. I strongly agree. You know, when I went to Japan, almost, oh man, it's been over 10 years now. Oh man, it feels like, it doesn't feel that far of a memory, to be honest, but when I went to Japan a decade ago, I can't believe I'm saying a decade ago, I went in a cultural exchange program with a university, and they took us to a very expensive restaurant once. And while the food was really good, I have to say, the food I enjoyed the most was the cheap food that I was eating day to day. I could fill my stomach for the whole day with the equivalent of 10 euros. And it was so good. And just sitting there in this small shops, because they were not even restaurants, were just food shops that were very small with a few tables. Sitting there, eating my bowl of rice, my katsudon, or my ramen, or whatever. It was just so good, it just felt right, you know, it's... Even the vibe was just right. I do agree, Alvin, extremely expensive food is easier to fail. Is easier failed by me, but not by not meeting my expectations. Spoken like a true chef, yes. While I think the better argument is who likes expensive food. A decade ago, yeah. Who likes expensive food? People with money to spend that want to say, I'm eating expensive food. It's just a status symbol, sadly. I can't believe that food has become a status symbol. It feels so wrong. Brother, it's been 5 years for me as well, man. Yeah. A decade ago, I was still in high school. Yeah, I was in university a decade ago. So yeah. I'm just a small cook trying to get by. Nah, man, you're the greatest for us, man. You're the greatest for us. A heart of gold indeed, yes. Since he was okay. Fortunately, he works in the police department. I love Hong Kong food tour, but COVID wiped half of my beloved restaurants. Oh man. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is supposed. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Supposed, I guess. Sherlock University era. Should be around 1960. Come on, man, that's my parents. My parents were kids by 1960, come on. You guys are making me feel older and older. The other day someone called me grandpa. Come on, I'm not a grandpa. I'm not even old enough for that. I miss that karaoke place next to my share house back in Tokyo, man. Back it up, Unc. I don't mind being an Unc. I'm the wise, good uncle that every now and then has something good to say, but most of the time is just hypercritical and doesn't like you. Thank God Grandpa Sherlock barely remembered it. Come on. Damn, don't do Sherlock like that. Yeah, guys, come on. Don't do me dirty. Will the prosecution please prepare... Oji-san, come on. Sherlock giving competition to Hoshino? Come on. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? Sherlock was friends with the T-Rexes. If I was friends with the T-Rexes, that would be such a cool story to tell, man. That would be such a cool story. I'm the silent and the slightly crazy on the head uncle, Keck. Well, we are all slightly crazy in our own twisted ways. Sherlock way sexier than Hoshino? I don't know about that. I'm very skinny. Sherlock witnessed the end of the prehistoric era. Man, again, that would be such a cool story to tell. I wish I could tell that story. Court is now in recess. Maybe we wouldn't be playing BA otherwise? Yeah. You can see Sherlock in spaghetti western movies? True? Come on. The only thing that you can see in those movies that is related to me is the spaghetti. Hoshino is sexier. I mean, let him show you his pole dance performance? Come on. That was supposed to be a secret. February 24th, 11:32 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Lana, looking at us very sternly. The Hoshino name is such a nice sounding name. Does anyone know what that means? I have no idea. Hoshi is usually... I mean, that could be something related to desire, because Hoshi is desire. The star. Hoshi no means star. I see. If I recall correctly. As far as I know. I see. There is no stopping you there, Mr. Wright. Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured out everything. I haven't figured out anything. Lana? You are the one who knows everything. Emma. Hoshi's star again, I think. So, Hoshi, with I think it's with 2 eyes, it's desire. Like, I wish, I desire, I want. In that case, who's the best sounding name? Biases aside. Who has the best sounding name in Blue Archive? Bias aside. That's a good question. Yeah, depends on the spelling, you're right. Yes. Hoshi is desire, yes. No. Hot is not related to Atsuko. No bias, Mika, no bias at all. Muratti, that's not true, that's bias AF. I know you way too well to know that's bias AF. It's like me saying Hibiki, no bias. You always know everything, why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. Tsuyo is an expression, yeah, it's... Lamai got caught. Of course you got caught, Muratti, of course. I'm the best detective in the world and I pay attention to you guys, so I know a lot. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. What an ungrateful client. Best name is Aru Riku Hachima. Uge is a cute expression. Best sounding name. I always... No, wait. Is that... Ayane is a... I like the name Ayane. Ayane is a good name. Who else? Himari has also a good name, but that's a little bit biased too. She's one of my favorite characters anyways. But... I don't know. Tsubaki and Tsukuyo. I like those names. Tsubaki and Tsukuyo. I like those names. Tsukuyo especially. I like Tsukuyo a lot. Sorasaki Hina. You are being biased. I think one of my contenders is Kawaru Shion. Fubuki Nemugaki is pretty great. She's literally called a sleepy brat, so yeah, Fubuki Nemugaki. She's literally called a sleepy brat. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? I like Blacktoot's name. Japaniest thing I ever heard. You got a lot of nerve, pulp, making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it all off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. It's Richard Gumshoe interrupting again. Yes. Kirifuji Nagisa is an elegant sounding name. Yeah, Nagisa has a good name. I was going to say Kirifuji Nagisa. Must be spelled with a ton of kanji. Yeah. I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. Ajitani Hifumi? Again, that's your bias showing Black Lockhart. I know it. I didn't see. Okay. That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked? Oh. You mean this, right? My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances... Ugh, what a hard word to pronounce. Circumstances. Ugh. I will not be reading that word. I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my requests. My name? Never in a million years. Would I have thought it was you who asked me? Sir as in sir. Circumstances? Circumstances? I like Aomori Mine. Her surname like one alcohol I liked. Aomori. Circumstances. See, Lana trusted us and got us evidence. Ooh. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident? But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. I can't believe the chief prosecutor were a witness in that case. Ooh, Mrs. Sky was a witness? SL9 incident files received from Lana Sky. Files from the Joe Dirk killings solved 2 years ago. Yasakura Kirara is a cheerful name. Yes, I agree. It's very fitting also for her personality. Be sure to read. Yes, I will. Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Oh man. Okay, let me grab my notepad and my pen so I can write down what I think is most important. Oh, what? Now that I've brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma, but why? Why is your name in here? Don't read until court opens? Okay. What? My name is in there? I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident is that... That's the classification number... That's the classification number the police filled it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Drake killings. Dirk killings. No, the Joe Dirk. No, Lana. That's over. Emma, wait. Now I remember. I just gotta be somewhere. Sorry, Val, but I'm out of here. Jake Marshall, Angel Star, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Asuma Toki, yes. She has a great name too. Pronounced dark, I think? I don't know. Kasekura Moe. Black Bloodheart, you have been naming all your favorite characters. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. I don't know. Try to leave your biases aside. Think of a character that has a nice sounding name. Asuma? I think it's just a name. It could just coincide. Asuma, Yeah, I think it's just a name. Kadeno Koji Koji Yukari. Yeah, she has a nice sounding name. Hanekawa Hasumi is a big name. Just like her. Yeah, true. Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. So she's trusting the best detective in the world to solve this case. I see. Lana finally figured out that she's talking to Sherlock Holmes here. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of lucks. I better take a good look at this file. Kinugawa Kasumi and Hanegawa Hasumi. Wait, now we can use slot 1 again. This is intense. This case is very intense. Why Hibiki is a dogo but have Neko in her surname? Wait. Have I been reading her name wrong? Nekosuka Hibiki. Oh, that's true! Nekosuka Hibiki. Let's see. Well, I don't know, but Hibiki is a nice name. Besides, bias aside, Hibiki is a nice name. It's a flower, so Sherlock doesn't know Hibiki full name. No, I was reading it wrong. My dyslexia was showing. I was reading her name wrong all this time. I don't know Ako. Sherlock didn't know Hibiki last name, shameful, but he knows Ako though. I don't know Ako's name. That's why he loves Ako. Come on, his favorite dog is Ako. Man. February 24, 12:14 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. Come on. Oh my god, guys. This is why I always look forward to stream, guys. You make it really fun. You really make it really fun. I like when the chat is this active because you guys always make me laugh a lot. Hinomiya Chinatsu. Amau? Dog Ako? You're not fooling us? What? I think Asuma is just a name. Yes. I also think so, but I'm not sure. I'm not... Amau Dokko? Come on. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Amau Dog Ako. Guys, we all know Aku is a doggo, but Hibiki is still #1 doggo. Aku's too moody. She's always angry. Doesn't have the good vibe. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Come on, he's getting drunk already. I agree with Sherlock. Yes. You can read the report now. Wakamo having the most innocent name, Kosaki Wakamo. Thank you, Alvin. So, better Toki use my surname. Come on, Porwa. Because Ako is a busy and responsible woman. Hibiki is she's one of the busiest characters in the game, but she just enjoys what she does. That's a big difference. Also, she has a good character. Is not an angry person. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man. Same as you, wandering the trials of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross the intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know, you are a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Ako is from Gehenna. She has more trouble to deal than building random stuff. Well, that's not Hibiki's fault. Gehenna is a mess. Right, humanity become predatory? No, come on. Busy, yes. Responsible is in the engineering department? Responsibility, you know, sometimes it goes to the side. It's normal, you know. You need to be intrepid for the good of science and research and advancement, you know. Innovation requires risk. We have the weirdest relationship with the prefect team. Aku is a dog, Iori feet licking, Hina is sniffing, Chinatsu, well, her L2D says a lot. Yeah, Onsen Chinatsu is quite something. No accountability either from Engineering Club. Wait, that's not true. They always fear Yuka because Yuka is always being mad at them. But they create a lot of issues, but they solve them all. They solve a lot of the issues they create. That's the difference. Gehenna students only create issues, and the perfect team has to solve everything. So the doggo is very responsible. I don't think so. Since Sherlock secretly helps her. Come on. Bone Skyrocket. Come on. I've never heard Edward describe. Okay. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. They only fear Yuka because of budget. That's true, but you know what they say. Fear is the strongest control tool. You didn't hear that from me. Ako, hardest work is being walked by Sherlock. Come on. I don't see issues in building hot springs for everyone. Look, the issue is that they are destroying the streets to do it. Do not do it in the middle of the street. Come on. Now, Mr. Jake Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. On the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A Desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Wait a second, I need some water. Man, I could really use a trip to a hot spring right now. Me too, man, me too. Ako, hardest work is keeping her dress on. Yeah. Ako has a lot of issues with clothing for some reason. Where they decide to build it is a problem? Yes. Shame to Sherlock, he's a master. Come on! Be careful with that kind of stuff. Fear. Sherlock, that's a pretty mafia thing to say. But it's true. It's true, sadly. Fear is... Ah, man. It's a very complicated philosophical discussion to have now. They make hot springs for free and you're complaining? Of course! I really need to jump in a cold river now. I mean... If it's that hot, yeah, true. Have you seen Ako Chinese design? They got rid of the air vents? I didn't see that. Did I miss it? Is it official or just... I don't remember it. Is it something official? Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Disclaimer, I don't know how to swim. Oh, then please don't jump. Please don't jump into the river. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English. It's official they censor some designs for the Chinese release? Oh, you mean the Chinese version of the game. I was thinking about the Kipao, like something like that. Yeah. Chinese version of the game is censored in many ways. Okay, let me save here, because we have the power of saving. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone ochre. They said I was supposed to make the rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. Chinese sensor destroy aerodynamic Akko, Shun and Amy? Yeah. They gave Mashiro spots. That's understandable though. I'm glad I played the global version, which is uncensored. Yeah. The biggest issue with censored designs is that they look very forced, they don't look natural. It looks like something that was done Occard spelled with CH, not K. So I was always convinced that it's pronounced Occard, not Ochard. Or okay, you know what? Let me see.
Orchard.
Orchard. Orchard. Orchard. What a weird word. Orchard. Honestly, Akko looks better with the full shirt, but it's less funny. No more drippy halo. Tsurugi is pretty funny. Oh yeah, because it's like it looks like blood dripping. So yeah, I think that was a little bit stupid. Blue Arcade Girls are exhibitionists because there is no many Kibotos. But it's Orchid with the K. Orchid. Oh yeah, Orchid sound. Yeah. That's why I thought it was Orchard. It's such a weird. English is so weird. Yeah, that's how English works. Yeah, it's such a weird language. Besides the room, okay. If I remember right, I was at the street side saloon at the time it went down. Dude, stop drinking! You need to put down that freaking whiskey. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time to hit the trail. I hit the trail. English is a stupid language? Yeah. I can say I particularly care for your attitude. I can say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complain. Wait a minute. And yet it's something we need to be able to use. Yes. There are many Kibotos, game just doesn't show them, so players don't get jealous. Yeah, that's true. The moment you start to questioning it working, you'll go crazy. Yes. I gotta order some alcohol. Kinda. I'm done with English, I'm gonna speak Brazilian. I need English to get a job. Yeah, me too. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID reader. I reckon every... Wait a second, ambulance. Okay. I know probably you don't hear it as much, but it doesn't allow me to concentrate when the ambulance is passing. Ambulancia é pra mim. If I speak Thai, you guys will only see noodle alphabet. Yeah. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Guys, come on. Let's keep it in English. Come on. I cannot read that. If I don't speak English, I won't be accepted to the cooking school back then. What? Yes, well, what about the fingerprint activated locks on the evidence lockers? Fingerprint activated locks? What kind of new phalangal doohickeys are those? I can only see fives. I wish Sherlock lived by an airport, then he would have to say, wait, airplane. Man, that would be awful. That would take so long. I will continue with my broken English. Yeah. それから日本語で話します。Guys, come on. Really? Botoka, come on. I'm not going to read that. Come on. Guys. English. Keep it in English. I think my phone glitch. I see many languages. We see what you did, bro. Click W. Yeah. Fingerprint activated. Locks. Okay. He's not been very helpful. He's not that good with machines or with following orders. Everyone got their weaknesses. Now don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? I'm kinda proud of my 55555. It's optimal communication in MOBA games. I can read with the power of Google Translate. This one seems like trouble. And the Tagalog curses, MOBA in 2025. Sadly enough, MOBAs are still very popular. Very, very popular. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. They are not getting many new players, but they have a very loyal big community. The day of the crime. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. What a freaking word, orchard. They say I was supposed to make the rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems. Anyways, if I remember right, I was at a street side saloon at the time it went down. Give me a second. Let me... No. Okay, so this is the one we have. I think this is what we have to use to say you were not on the other side of the street because we found this. I mean Lulu in League of Legends. Oh man, I don't even remember the name of the characters of League of Legends. I haven't played that game in so long. I cannot even remember how long. I don't play it anymore, but popular alongside Valorant over SEA. Valorant is very popular. For some reason I like watching Valorant, but I don't like playing Valorant. I never played MOBA much. If I recall correctly, only Dota 2 for a week or so. I'm a brain-dead non-competitive RPG boy. Dude, competitive games are overrated. Also, I have not read this yet. Okay, incident SL9 closed. Perpetrator Joe Dirk. Crime serial murder. Sentence death. Victims: Edward Jones, Edith Kirby, Jeff Bates, Jason Knight, Rachel Moss, Neil Marshall. Okay, Neil Marshall, probably his father of Marshall, of Jake. By the way, Sherlock, what does Shupogaki mean? I have no idea. My Japanese is not that good, so I have no idea what Shupogaki means. Proof of Good Life. Back then I mostly played Battlefield 3 and 4 for a more brain-dead fan spraying gun and rifling tanks. Surely coincidence. Train brats? Means train brats? Oh, I see. Head prosecutor, Miles Edgeworth. Witness, Lana and Emma Sky. Investigation Task Force. Executive investigators, Damon Gant and Lana Sky. Head investigator, Bruce Goodman. Investigators, Jake Marshall and Angel Starr. Oh man, Shupo is the onomatopoeia for train sounds. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Competitive games easily lead to toxic community. The issue with competitive games and toxicity is simply that people take games too seriously. There is no need to take games that seriously. Everyone wants to be the next esports star, and they are not going to be even amateur. Okay. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd that that is you being called in to testify like this? Shupogaki is used to refer a cocky young girl playing around in a provocative way. Is choo-choo also not onomatopoeia for train sound? I think it's the train that's why they use shupo. Like, shu. I don't know. Oh crap. Okay, new topic, guys. That's Mesugaki? I don't know, guys. To add to what Martin said, Shupo is like shoe. When the kids play, they say Shupo Shupo, like choo choo. Okay. Nozomi? Choo choo brats. In my language is fon. It's P sound, so pon. The correct translation would be chew brat, but train brat. I call them rat brats because they took all my resources, so they are rats for me. They are not like Mutsugi. No, I don't know. After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. Those who correct translate. And yet you drag me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm a caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects, that is to make my rounds, about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there. Well, not correct but literal translation. They are, but they are train brats, so Shupogaki. Thanks to Sherlock being sexy, come on. What am I doing now? Come on. Marshall a hard worker? Yeah, he is the perfect public worker. They take the money we pay in taxes and do nothing. I only wish it were officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Ooh. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the scene of the crime. The blood was wiped away, however. A luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall, it seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall, about the blood-stained fingerprints? Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints. I found at the scene of the crime. Blood-stained fingerprints. Okay, guys, let's pay attention. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in the evidence room. Blood. 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 Ah, man. Today, guys, you're confusing me today, guys. Blood. Come on. Like, okay. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The blood stain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See, I had nothing to do with it. Pronunciation, it's blood. Yeah, I said blood, didn't I? I said blood. Blood stain. The witness explanation appears to be valid. Is it Sherlock's accent working? Oh man. Although there's room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Blood, bro, who says blood as blood. What? It's two O's, so that's a U sound, ain't it? Like cartoon is blood, not blood. No?
Blood.
Blood. It's blood. Tomorrow I have to wake up at 5 a.m. We are taking English here. English is a funny language. Yeah, it's blood. Okay, it's blood. Where everything gets confusing. Yes. Now's my chance to prove it. Blood-stained fingerprints. Wait, I lost you, chat. Where are you? Okay, here you are. Now he gets it. Yeah. So you see, before I started doing these streams, what did I say? Blood again? Oh, it's gonna take some time, guys. It's gonna take some time. But before I started doing these streams, yeah, all habits die hard. I had never had my pronunciation checked. So now it's, I don't know, it's so confusing. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. Let's press. That's because you, how did you put it? Pay your respects once a month. Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. Kid named Habit? that locker room happens to be mine. Oh, what do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. And that's in there now. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams. I see. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently, his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it. Found on a bloody handprint on Marshall's own locker, the print had been wiped. Marshall's fingerprints updated in the court record. I said it right this time, I said it right. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The blood stain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? How do you know that? I may be a loner, but I'm still doing my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a blood stain at the scene, though thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was on Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer was wearing gloves. I believe the murderer has the exact same size of hand and touch it in the exact same place. Happened to place their hand on top of Marshall's fingerprint. That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? Unlikely. The picture? Lies. This seal of blood in the desert is just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. The security tape? So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Hey Lockhart, have you... what? Have a good morning tomorrow? But what a painful Monday. Yeah. He has a motive to mess with the locker? Yes, indeed. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue with your testimony, Officer Marshall. Too bad it wasn't in the video, right, partner? Let's just press it. My interview's tomorrow, so I need to take a bus to another city. Best of lucks, mate. Best of lucks. What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. The camera panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with this camera position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us the evidence in that video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now. Okay. Here, my observation powers need to come clutch. I always pull through this, and I'll do it again. Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake. That's a really difficult battle. We can only work on facts, no speculation. If only that worked in real life. Yeah, true. Now then, let's have another look at that video. Show us this incriminating evidence. Okay, wait, can I rewind it? Oh, wait. Guys, okay, no, wait, I'm gonna let it go because I think I'm into something. I think I'm into something here. Okay. So that happened. I love this song, it's so calming. This part is amazing. There is something happening here. I may be into something here, but I'm not completely... Yes, okay. I have it. So, here, there is nothing now, but at the end of the video, there is the piece of cloth hanging out. This song is creepy, yeah. I'm very excited for tomorrow. I can't believe it, mate, I can't believe it. It's always a roller coaster with the when stuff like that happens. Okay, so now I need to pause and present. Bring to our attention back to the security camera. If it's a mistake, I'm afraid you'll soon not to forget, Officer Marshall. These days are short in Texas. The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum it up? Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video. 8 words. So he made it. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. That locker with the white cloth sticking out that was the witness, I believe. I'm not in Discord. You'll be fine, everything will go smoothly. Remember, you can chat about it in the Discord. Oh, yeah. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Okay, rewinding. The white cloth is gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then, it suddenly appeared. There is only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened the locker when the camera was turned away. Once I get a new phone with more storage, I can download it. Nice. Hold your horses, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. No, you mother cracker. That's not how it works, and you know that. Or rather, you don't know that because you're stupid. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you are the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah, I called your bluff. You say I opened that locker. Prove it. Where is it? No. How can... Oh, okay. It's this one. It's the badge? No, it's the locker. The fingerprint sensor. A fingerprint sensor? We talked about this earlier today. So many evidence. Yeah, this case is crazy. There is so much stuff. Look. 3 pages. We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? What a cocky bastard. I only got 1 word for you, partner. No. It's time to put down the whiskey, mate. Order. Witness, explain yourself. If this is a joke, it's the worst I ever heard. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please explain us. Please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Kid named Evidence? I assume every evidence will be used in this case, so if there are so many left, but I guess it is a long case. Yes. Ole, please answer the question. What is he now? A bullfighter? That's all right, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure out the rest from here. We can? We have a look at these floor plans. There is no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness? It seems that Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right, the only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Well, it has to be here because there is no LOS here. So it has to be here, the B spot. Officer Marshall was standing right here. There, but that's where Detective Meekins, that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct, unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you dressed up like Detective Goodman. 1 second. That's preposterous. I don't know how to pronounce that word. That's... Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime of the scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. May point out that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. Also, he testified about the man's reaction when confronted. You pronounced it right? Nice. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his ID card, sir. Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled a knife on me. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is quite simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? You've got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that, it's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving that I dressed up as the victim. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. Circumstantial evidence? I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Second time he brings up the beard. Yeah. Seems you are the one who couldn't take the desert heat. Dude, it's easy. That piece of cloth is the jacket he was using as a disguise. It's so big that it leaked out from below the locker. He didn't close it properly. He just shoved the thing in, closed the locker and rushed out before the camera caught him. That's so easy. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Phoenix, try thinking outside of the box. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in a disguise, but rather I should look for the evidence that came out because he was in a disguise. What do you think this locker? Why do you think this locker was open in the first place? What do you mean? There is no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the scene of the crime. Yet, he did, despite the chance it might have been discovered later as it has been. I like how Edgeworth is helping us. Yes, first time he's helping us. Well, not first time, but finally he's helping us in this case. Did you guys get hit by an ad? I don't want you to miss anything. Did anyone get hit by an ad? No? Did anyone get an ad? No? No? Okay, no? 4 no's. On one, never? Okay, on one hand that's good, on the other hand I'm not getting paid. Oh wait, Porwa has premium, so I get paid for that ad that didn't show to Porwa. Anyone that has premium, actually I get paid for that that you do not watch. So that's fine. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense argument, the Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the scene of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. I have premium too? Nice, bro wants that 0.6 grand. Dude, this is something funny posted on the Discord. My Dress Saori ad revenue is 69 cents. Nice. Exactly 69 cents. That's nice. But yeah, no, if everything goes well, and I may be able to get paid by the end of May, my first 70 YouTube euros. That would be great. Can you imagine? I could feel like a real YouTuber, even though I'm just a dude doing stuff as a hobby, but that would feel so good to get my first payment from YouTube. Next week is my birthday too, so it could be great, but they only pay on the 21st of every month, so he opened his own locker room for some unknown reason. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. Ooh. Okay. Very well, let's take another look. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker room to put away the white cloth. I mean, Mikan has premium, but I press enter halfway. Oh, okay. Oh, remember to submit your dish in the event for Sherlock birthday stream. Yes, guys, remember to submit your dishes for the May the 4th stream. Don't let him be him sexy. Don't let him sexy alone. Better to make him hungry by your dish. Yes. Oh wait, I got distracted. Okay, here is fine. I will get hungry watching all the tasty dishes. Yes. Oh, wait! Rewind. He has blood now. So he's hiding the jacket because he has blood in there. Blood in there. He has blood on the shoulder. Freaking hell. Okay, so you see how it's clean? It's clean. And now there is blood. There is tons of blood there. For some reason, you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman and enter the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When he asks you to show the ID card, you pull a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody jacket, a bloody white coat. You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. Now then, Officer Marshall. Are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated you all. I hope you are happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now, would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what did all of it? Tell the court what you did? Oh. Tell the court what you did. All of it. I'm sorry, guys. My dyslexia is showing again. I cannot even read properly sometimes. Alright. It seems the time has come. Marshall's confession. Ooh. Here we go. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out, and I managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. So the supposed victim was really you? But there is one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his hand. My guess is he is the donor. It was way too much blood for such a small donation. Okay. What when you say it, you mean, do you even have to ask, partner? The SL9 incident 2 years ago. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day. Not if I had anything to do with it. That incident is not over. What did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? It's because one of his family members was killed. That day was my last chance, that's why. I stole the detective's ID card and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera. And the detective ID card? I stole it the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filling out that lost item report. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker. But he could because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. I was not expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. Wait, no. Let me press. You pull a knife on Officer Meekins and try to drive him off. Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only plan on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone could actually come in during that short time. Officer Meekins certainly is one in a million type person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to show his ID. I'll have to think a little more about his rise this year. When did Edgeworth get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me, and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry, it had to turn out that way. With me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say. So you knocked out Officer Meekins and managed to escape. I knew which areas couldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder. Wait. Okay, so we did that. Let's press here. So you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So what you're saying is on that day there wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place. What, are you blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So you stole the evidence from the locker. Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. Oh my god. That's a crazy turn of events. That's a really crazy turn of events. That was the last thing I was expecting. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective ID, injuring a police officer. This is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It just can't be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case, this one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. I can't just forget SL9 incident. You know why? Okay, the truth is coming out. I have a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I'd better take another look at the files. Oh man. No! Oh. No, 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 no. Wait. Wait. I have a feeling though. It feels really weird that I'm allowed to see this statement. And then it changes. Let me press on that one. It feels weird. But the case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Am I still not returned? Yeah. Press it, yeah. Joe Dirk was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence. I remember the Joe Dirk case. It involved serial murders, didn't it? I do not intend to complain about how it turned out. But there is something that still bothers me. Something that went down at that trial. Something that no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know, that's why I'm trying to find out. Why is he concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. This has to be a clue. This has to be a clue here. Neil Marshall. But I cannot present it now. I have a feeling we'll wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I'd better take another look at the files. Still, I cannot present. I cannot present it. So maybe I need to move? I couldn't... I had to do it that way. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective ID card, okay. I was suspecting of... okay. Okay. Okay, now I can present. Okay. Now I can. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about SL9. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I have SL9 incident files here. The name Marshall is mentioned here. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall, are you related to this man? Neil Marshall? Yeah, I'm sure you've heard that name. 2 years ago, he received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. What? A prosecutor? He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award. Now I remember, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right, he was killed. And the case fell into your hands. But what's his relationship to you? He was my brother. Oh man. He was investigating the murders of Damon Gant? With Damon Gant. Oh my god. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the Deputy Chief of Police. I almost got Damon Gant mixed as a serial killer. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dirk. This bastard. This is the bastard. My brother fought Dirk and was killed. That was the first time Dirk left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. And the case was finally closed, at least according to the public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dirk. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions. There is more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. It's Darke? Darke? I think it's Darke. Let's call it Dirk, is easier. It's dark. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime. It's ugly. That was the last day SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with his resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins, okay, this is just a recount of what happened, so I'm not gonna read it all. Yes, this mystery has been finally cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze me. At exactly the same time as the murderer, at exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department. Chance? It's gotta be more than just that. If no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one. Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye. But wait, a verdict was reached in yesterday's trial, in which we examined the incident at the police department today. But there is only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me this boy got the draw on you, partner. All of the mysteries that at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye, and the testimony of one Miss Angel Star is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. I really empathize now with Phoenix Wright. I rest my case. It seems that the trial has reached its conclusion. There is no room for doubt. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time in disproving the alleged murder at the police department. There is no doubt that what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera tape was really fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty. Now then, time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant. Your Honor, wait. Emma? The defense has an objection, a scientific objection. And guys, we are going to leave it on a big cliffhanger because we have 2 minutes left. So I think it's better we end here. Hell no, cliffhanger? Guys, it's gotta be the first cliffhanger. My first cliffhanger, guys. There is always a first, guys. Like a real streamer. The first cliffhanger. This way I keep you engaged until next week, guys. But now, guys, in all honesty, scientific object, I cliffhang myself tonight. Now, come on, stop. Guys, okay. You have 1 minute to convince me to keep going for 5 minutes. You have 1 minute. Convince me to keep going for 5 minutes. Early but happy birthday, Sherlock. Come on, it's a week early. Come on. Nah, it's fine. Okay. Guys, have a great week. Thank you. Guys, it's been really fun. We can live with it. Yes. Keep going or order a rope online. No, come on. Nah, just send it, bro. I already know the story. Guys, it's been really fun. The stream today was hilarious, to be honest. You guys were making me laugh the whole way through. And I think next week is gonna be just as fun. But with that said, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you had a great time just as I did. And I'll see you next week. Bye bye.